Jai Hind, friends. I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. India does not do that. We're a peaceful country and we are always trying to talk to people. We are always trying to do things diplomatically. So they both articulated these points of view, and the point of view is that the global south must get its due. India will stand with the global south. India has a big diplomatic voice. Jai Hind, friends. I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Khalistani terrorist, part of Sikhs for Justice, which is an organization, seemingly an NGO, but not supporting terrorism, funding terrorist activities, Sikhs for Justice. He was a member. He was also the president of the Sikh Gurdwara in the city of Surrey in British Columbia in Canada. He was shot dead. Now, Nijjar was an active Khalistani. He was part of the protests against India in front of the High Commission, in front of our various consulates. He was also planning terror strikes. NIA had filed a case against him. So this man in India was a wanted terrorist, and this man has been shot dead under mysterious circumstances. I don't know who killed him. The media is yet to come out with all the details, but Paramjit Singh Panjwar, an ISI favorite, living under ISI protection in Pakistan, in Lahore, which is supposed to be the heart of Pakistan. And this person, Paramjit Singh Panjwar, again, a dreaded terrorist who's planning and plotting against India, somebody goes and shoots him. This is some time back. This is not today's news. This is some time back. But shot dead. You know, similarly, Avtar Singh Khanda, again a terrorist. Avtar Singh Khanda, in the United Kingdom, suddenly loses his life and they say he's got a massive heart attack. He's dead. Now, nobody knows why he died. It is said that he had blood cancer, but a person suffering from blood cancer, dying of a heart attack, I don't know. Khalistanis are very quick to blame India. They're saying that these killings have been carried out by Indian agencies, and Indian agencies have said, okay, we'll kill X, Y, Z. And they have done it, which is not true. India does not do that. We're a peaceful country, and we are always trying to talk to people. We are always trying to do things diplomatically. So anybody who says that India has done it is lying. This is absolutely fabricated. There is not an ounce of truth in it. India has never done such a thing. We've never broken the law, and this is something that India will never tolerate. But I just want to tell the Khalistanis one thing here. You know, you have every right to protest. We may not like it, but you have every right to protest in front of the High Commission, in front of the embassies, in front of our consulates. Again, I'm saying we may not like it, but you have every right to protest. But on that day, you should not have taken down the Indian flag. You know, the Indian flag in our UK High Commission building, you should not have taken down that flag. It deeply, deeply hurt Indians. And I just want to tell the Khalistanis that while we are a peace-loving nation, there is no forgiveness for this sin. You can run, you can hide, you can change your name, you can change your appearance. You can hide in the Himalayas, you can hide in deep Africa, but let me tell you, not that I'm saying anything, but I'm just telling you, in the heart of Indians, there is no forgiveness. Once you insult the national flag, there is no going back. This is the thin red line. By taking down that flag that day, you cross the Rubicon. And after crossing the Rubicon, you can never come back. What is done is done. And there is no coming back, there is no forgiveness. You just managed to very grievously upset 1.4 billion Indians. We might fight against each other. We might have a lot of differences, us Indians. We might fight on the lines of language, caste, religion. But when it comes to the flag, you know, the desecration of the flag will not be tolerated by anybody in India. As I said, you've crossed the Rubicon, you've crossed the thin red line. And all that I can say is that Khalistanis, may God protect you. Because you're going to need God's protection. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has written to every member of G20 now. You know, India is the president of G20 this year. And India is committed to certain values, to certain principles that Prime Minister Modi articulated, and so did Dr. Jaishankar, our External Affairs Minister. They both articulated these points of view, and the point of view is that the global south must get its due. India will stand with the global south. India has a big diplomatic voice. India has a lot of credibility globally. And India plans to use its voice, its credibility to speak up for nations that are not heard. Smaller nations. nations that are otherwise ignored. They're too poor, they don't have diplomatic heft, nobody cares about them, they're not a big market. Many of them are in the throes of civil war and their economies in the doldrums. There are warlords controlling parts of the country. It's all, in a huge mess. Many of these countries. There are 55 countries in the African Union. There are some who are doing pretty well for themselves. There are some with a lot of mineral wealth, oil, natural riches. There are some which are absolutely stable, but there are many in the African Union who are not, who are extremely poor. And what Prime Minister Modi has written to every member of the G20 is that these 55 countries comprising of the African Union should be made permanent members of G20. This is a huge ask as far as India is concerned. Because who are the G20? These guys control, these countries account for 75% of the world's trade and 85% of the world's GDP. So this is big ticket stuff. This is the big boys league. And India is the president of this big boys league. And India is saying that, the policy articulated by Prime Minister Modi is Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, which means the world is a family. And what India is telling people that, okay, India today has money. India has almost $600 billion worth of foreign exchange reserves. India is the 5th largest economy, very shortly going to become the 4th largest. But without caring for the poor, without caring for the marginalized in India and across the world, what is the meaning of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam? This is what Prime Minister Modi wants to say. So he says that India will stand with the global south. India will become their voice. And this is what India wants to do. India wants to tell the world that, hey, listen, we're here for you and we're going to do our utmost. Unlike the Chinese who want to give you loans for stuff that you don't need and then take away your land and take away your freedoms and take away your sovereignty, India is not going to do that. Now, how does this benefit India? Let's discuss that very briefly. This benefits India, ladies and gentlemen, because India keeps its promise of being a leader of the global south and speaking for those who cannot speak for themselves and representing those who cannot represent themselves in the United Nations and in the larger committee of nations. They are not heard. Number one. Number two, India neutralizes to a large extent the influence of China in many ways. And number three, India builds up diplomatic capital because all countries have one vote. India is massively building up diplomatic capital, and these are 55 countries. Now, what China did was give billions of dollars worth of loans to every country, right? What India is doing is saying that, come, sit with us. While the big boys are eating at a table, you don't, or they're sitting and discussing things. You are equal. Every human being is equal. You don't have to stand outside. Come, sit with us. You are our brothers, you are our equals, and India is not your big brother. India is not Tanzania's big brother. India is not Uganda's big brother. India is not Kenya's big brother. India is not the Democratic Republic of Congo's big brother. We are equals. That is what India is trying to tell the world. So I think it's a big deal. It's a big thing that India has done. One more news, ladies and gentlemen, which I'd like to tell you from Pakistan is that the news from Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, is that no special discount on fuel purchases, says a Russian minister. So, the Russian minister, Nikolai Shulginov, has said that oil deliveries to Pakistan have begun, right? And this he said at the sidelines of an international economic conference in St. Petersburg, Russia. And he said that oil exports to Pakistan have begun, but Pakistan has not got anything special, We're just giving them regular rates and stuff like that. So Petroleum Minister Musaddiq Malik, he said that despite the increased yield of furnace oil during the refining as well as high operational cost of the import, the Russian fuel would be significantly beneficial for Pakistan, even as the Russian minister ruled out any sort of exclusive discount. Now, you see, all this is nonsense by the Pakistanis. All this is absolute hogwash, I can tell you. You know why Pakistani politicians don't tell the truth to their own people? Because the truth is terrifying. The people of Pakistan are going to eat up their leaders if the leaders ever told them the truth. This is why their leaders keep on lying and telling them, they say religion is the opium of the masses. And this is why they have kept the entire Pakistani population unread, unlettered, and people believing that religion is the cure to every problem. They'll not tell them the truth. Earlier they said, no, we will get you oil at the same price that India has got, or even a better deal. How is that even possible? I'd like to ask the Pakistanis, think about it. How is it even possible that you will get a better rate than India? Do you have similar volumes? Do you have the same relationship with Russia? Have you stood with Russia in its darkest hours? You haven't. And yet you expect special treatment from the world. Why? Because if you ask a common Pakistani, go down the road and ask a common Pakistani, why do you deserve special treatment? He will say, because we are Muslims. They have no other logic. Because we have atom bombs, because we are Muslims. That is why the world is jealous of us. That is why we need special treatment. They will tell you all of this, and none of it makes sense, not in the least. But the fact of the matter is, Russia, the oil minister of Russia has told very specifically, we have given no special discounts. And there is a rumor floating around. I don't know if it's correct or not, because I've not read it in the mainstream media. Maybe it's missed my eye, but the oil that has gone to Pakistan was refined in India. That is what a lot of people on social media are saying. But I'm sorry, I cannot say definitely that yes, this happened in India, because I don't know. But this is what people are saying. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for a very special section of our video today called Ask Major. Here are your questions. The first question is from Moneymaker. Sir, I'm a defense aspirant and would like to ask you about the recent speech of Army Chief Manoj Pandey. Sir, his name is General Manoj Pandey. In an IMA POP, what do you think he meant with evolving more with time? I would like you to explain more on that, and please also share your views about how aspirants can start the learning evolving process. See, armies evolve over a period of time. There are new threats. There are new perceptions of threats. So the threat perception changes. The technology changes. Weapons platform change. Everything changes. And with that, things evolve. Threats evolve. Perceptions evolve. Solutions to those threats evolve. So General Manoj Pandey was talking about that. And the correct way to address the Chief of Army Staff of the Indian Army is, you can say Chief of Army Staff, COAS, General Manoj Pandey. Right? That is the right way. Or alternatively, General Manoj Pandey, Chief of Army Staff of the Indian Army. Being thankful. All right. Ram Ram Gaurav ji. Ram Ram ji, Ram Ram aapka. Unfortunately, people who are following you from overseas and primarily from US get chance to look into your videos lately. Our questions are always missed. You, if your team, get the chance to read them. Here is my question. Why don't we openly talk about the fact that we got freedom not because of Gandhi? Why can't we openly say in India that Gandhi was a politician and could have saved lives of our three veers, which includes Bhagat Singh ji, Rajguru ji and Sukhdev ji? Why can't we agree that he was a subset and representative of British ideology? Do you disagree? What are your views? I'm not saying that what he did and his protests were wrong. We certainly would appreciate. Remember, we were always shown and told from beginning that British left. Gandhi movie 2 was not directed, produced by any Indian. Jai Hind, Jai Shri Ram. Okay, being thankful forever. All right. First of all, apologies for not taking your questions before. I'd just like to tell you 2-3 things. First of all, I think Mahatma Gandhi played a leading role in India's independence. To say that he did not do it or he was an agent of the British, I think that is a little bit misguided. The problem with our history is that we say that only Gandhi did it. Sabarmati ke sant, tune kar diya kamal, le li azadi bina, khadak bina. Now, this is obviously not stating the truth. This is all hogwash, okay? So I'm not saying Gandhi's contribution is hogwash. I'm saying that Gandhi did contribute, Mahatma Gandhi did contribute. But that is not the reason why the British left India. One of the main reasons why British left India was, of course, the sacrifices of, Shahid-e-Azam Bhagat Singh ji and Rajguru and Sukhdev. Obviously all of that. Also one major factor was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. It was the naval mutiny, I think it was 1946, started off in Mumbai, then Bombay, where the Indian naval forces. Now, after the Second World War, what happened was that there were a lot of people who were trained in warfare. Second World War had ended and all of them came back. Whoever survived, they came back to India. And these people were trained. And there was this very charged atmosphere. And Subhash Chandra Bose, Netaji, was India's top hero at that point in time. And the British, if they feared anybody, they feared Netaji. We'll have a detailed discussion one day, sir, on this. But let me tell you, the real fear was from the Indian National Army. That was the real fear. Because, I hear these stories and I read about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, and what a man. What a man. Goosebumps. even now, I'm talking about Netaji and I'm having goosebumps. This is phenomenal what he did. Traveling in a submarine, going. It's a story right out of Jules Verne. It's the realm of adventure and science fiction, but he did that in real life. Yeah. What a fantastic man. What a fantastic, leader. And that is one of the primary reasons why the British got scared and they did not have the will to fight anymore. After Second World War, their infrastructure was gone, their economy was gone. And on top of that, you had these millions of Indians who had been trained in war veterans who were there, who were listening to the call, who were heeding the call of Netaji. And this is what truly terrified the British. If somebody thinks that you signed a piece of paper and the British said, okay, now we are going and we have... No, not at all. Not at all. There is another, this thing here, I don't know what this is, but Jahanji. USA has spent trillions of dollars to make evacuation bunkers in case of nuclear emergencies for government officials. Do you think India should have the same? I think India would have similar things. These things are not very openly discussed in India, but I'm sure you would have it for the Prime Minister and certain top leaders. I think there would be nuclear bunkers, but not very much because, nuclear war is something that is pretty much curtailed. I'm not saying it cannot ever happen, but the chances of it happening are 0.000001%. Rest of it, honestly speaking, I don't know because these are top secret government things and I'm a television anchor and sometime YouTuber, so I wouldn't know about these things. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this. If you like this video, press like, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata ki Jai.